50,000 people in Lake Tahoe were told they won't be getting electricity anymore because the utility company is sending all of it to the new data center in town.
We have horrible economic news right now. Grocery prices in the United States have
This is what it sounds like trying to fall asleep next to a data center. This is what it sounds like trying to fall asleep next to a data center.
You need to watch this video when it comes to AI data centers and our drinking water.
There's really no such thing as a closed loop system. It's still picking up water. That water in a closed loop system is being contaminated. It's picking up anti-corrosives, anti-scaling agents, biocides, and then what is happening is that water gets what's called blowdown. It gets blown back down into the aquifers or the rivers, or like what Ohio EPA is just right now allowing. They just dump it right back into the river. The water treatment facilities are not capable, they do not have the filtering media, and they are not capable of filtering those particular types of corrosives. And so that just makes its way down into our aquifers. And most of these communities are small towns and farming communities that have wells set on aquifers. So this water it's this gray sludge basically is not being cleaned, it's not being filtered, and it's being dumped right into our drinking water, or it's being dumped into a water treatment facility center that cannot handle that kind of load.
You need to watch this video when it comes to
We have major news right now. Nearly 50,000 people in the Lake Tahoe area now are being told to find a new electricity utility provider because the current one says it has to redirect that power to data centers. Can't make this up. New reporting from Fortune has confirmed that
I don't even know how this is legal, but nearly 50,000 people in the Lake Tahoe area have been told their utility is going to stop providing power to them because it's being redirected to data centers. The company NV Energy is ending its longtime wholesale contract to supply power to the area. This forces Liberty Utilities, the local provider for approximately 49,000 customers, to scramble for a replacement source for 75% of its electricity by May of next year. The power is being diverted to satisfy unprecedented electricity demand for a massive AI and data center boom in northern Nevada. Major tech giants like Google, Apple, and Microsoft are aggressively building out infrastructure east of Reno at the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center. 12 upcoming data center projects in northern Nevada are projected to pull 5,900 megawatts of new demand by 2033. To give you an idea of how insane this is, the data center footprint is projected to consume more than 2.8 times the total energy produced by the Hoover Dam. And by 2030, data centers are expected to devour 35% of Nevada's total energy capacity. We're heading towards a large-scale energy crisis. They're willing to cut off people's power supply in order to power these data centers. I don't even know how this is legal.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another broadcast. It seems like we're going through another industrial revolution, and it's taking the form of open AI. Now, I know a lot of people thought AI was all about memes and helping with your children's homework and being able to look up various historical events and research. But no, this has taken a real infrastructure upgrade that has been massive. And this is just the beginning of some of the strides that AI have been making as far as this infrastructure goes with these data centers. Some of the stuff that I'm going to show y'all is a bit shocking. And listen, it has already affected a whole lot of people, over 50,000 people over there in Lake Tahoe, as you can see. And there's more being affected. Now, we got to talk about what this AI is and how they're going to incorporate all of this for the beast system. So as you come into the broadcast, make sure you get the likes up. Y'all know what we do. We're going to give you nothing but the truth. So as you enter, make sure that you're nothing short of interactive in the chat. And we're going to really get to it. Let's go.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for the They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks, with these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
What's going on, everybody? I see Queen in the building. Brandon is in the house. Empress in the building. Who else in the house? We got Key Kev. Ebony, what's going on? Tania's in the house. Yes, I see y'all. Peace and blessings. Our Yah's in the building. She said her son is jamming to the intro. That's what's up. King Co's in the building. Yes. What's going on, all my enlightened, conscious, socially aware people? We have some things to discuss. We're talking about these data centers, but of course, I'm going to throw a couple other caveats at y'all. We're going to delve into a few other things that's going on right now in the news, current events. However, these data centers are big news, man, because it's going to really push the envelope. And eventually the mark of the beast will be ushered in. See, these humongous infrastructures, I think one of them is the size of 20,000 Walmarts, y'all. 20,000 Walmarts mashed together. One of these data centers. And what you got to understand about these places is that they have huge utility costs. There's a lot of noise that come from them, a lot of environmental damage. And as far as water consumption goes, a lot of these places are already located in areas that already have water shortages. So it's going to create desert-like conditions, like especially, you know, there was a study shown in Texas where they were really breaking down what can happen, you know, and, you know, a lot of research now is warning that the AI related data centers in America could require tens and billions of gallons of water within just a few years. Now think about places like Arizona that already got droughts. You know, it's like, what are they really trying to do? Looks like they're trying to replace humans with AI. It looks like that there's some type of algorithmic demand to the point where they need all of these centers because people are relying on the AI so heavily. So it's getting real, y'all. I want to go to these sources here so y'all can see just how real it is getting. And I'm going to definitely chime in.
We have big news right now. The rise in data centers across the country is posing a threat to the nation's power grid. That, according to a new statement from a grid watchdog. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation, also known as NERC, has now issued a rare Level 3 Essential Action Alert. They're warning that large computational loads associated with data centers pose immediate risks to the bulk power systems across the nation. And these data centers are now threatening grid reliability across the country. We have data centers being popped up in places like Utah, where you have a data center being built that's the size of 2,000 to 3,000 Walmarts, twice the size of Manhattan. You have a data center in New Jersey that's thousands of square feet large that's being built. You have a data center in northern Nevada that's diverting power from residents in the Tahoe region. You have a data center in Georgia that's siphoning millions and millions of gallons of water from residents who need it during a drought. And it all could threaten grid reliability. Spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have big news.
Yes, this is extremely problematic, y'all. And this is why the Bible tells us that if the Most High did not intervene, no flesh would survive the wickedness that mankind is doing here on this planet. No flesh would survive it. You know, these people are maniacs. They're putting a system in place that is causing the people problems. I mean, they're losing power. They're being forced out of their homes. People are getting cancers from some of the pollution that's going on. Is it worth it? Is the AI worth it? One moment. And meanwhile, in Cuba, I want y'all to understand that Cuba right now is completely out of oil. So this energy crisis, it is spreading globally.
Listen up, this is very, very important. Yesterday, Cuba reported it is now completely out of oil. It has no more oil. 10 million people can't go to work, school, pharmacies, hospitals. There's no fuel to cook food. Diabetics cannot get their insulin. Mothers can't reach delivery rooms. Ambulances cannot move. This is the result of a U.S. blockade that cut off every oil shipment to the island. 10 million people are paying for the price of a political standoff that they have no part in. There have been 22-hour blackouts. People are cooking with charcoal, sleeping on the rooftops to escape the heat. Delivery trucks have no diesel to run. Hospitals are being rationed with what little power remains. The babies are dying in Cuba. You have to call your reps. 202-224-3121. Call your representatives. Tell them Trump's blockade on Cuba is an act of war and it must end now. My name is Augusta Renee, and I hope you have the day you voted for. And if you didn't vote, you're going to have the day that somebody else did. Listen up, this is very, very important. Yesterday, Cuba reported it is now completely out of oil.
Now, we got to understand that the oil is the world's bloodline, the world's lifeline, rather. And America is directly responsible for Cuba's conditions right now. Now, what we got to understand is what goes around comes around. We can't really sit in ignorance and let this stuff go over our heads. The same thing that's happening in the countries that are getting bullied by America is going to come to America. It's only so long things can be the way they are. Time is going to change things here in this country. And I need you to understand that, brothers and sisters. And I want to go to a scripture here. And I want to go to the book of Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. A lot of people think that these warnings sound crazy, or they have sounded crazy years ago. Now the infrastructure is literally in place. It's appearing in real time that they're trying to put the beast system out there, that they're allowing AI, artificial intelligence, to pretty much take over. This is another reason why you're seeing what's going on with the oil, why it's being blocked off. Because guess what? In hindsight, genocide is being committed on various small countries. Let's just call it like it is, y'all. Genocide is being committed. I seen footage going on over there, what's going on in Cuba, since I like to stay tuned into world news. There's babies that don't have incubators. They don't have power for the incubator. There's people who have respiratory issues. They cannot power the machines. These people have been in the dark for months in certain places in Cuba. We talking about tens and millions of people are being affected. But guess what? With this war going on in the Middle East and the Strait of Hormuz being still blocked off, things continue to get worse day by day. You got food prices going up in America every single day. Gas prices, it went from 14% ethanol to 10%. They didn't water down the damn gas, y'all. So it's only a matter of time. Also, what does the scriptures tell us? In Ecclesiastes 1:9, it says, that thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and there is no new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1:9. What's that talking about? Repeated cycles. Mankind repeating the same patterns of self-destruction. You see, technology is always going to amplify through human ambition. This happened in Egypt. See, a lot of people don't really do their research about Egypt. We think that we're so advanced. Nah, we think that we're so advanced. Listen, Egypt has stargates. There was a CERN program in Egypt. All the stuff that we see going on right now already happened before. And guess what? All those places was destroyed. And man is repeating the same thing over again.
Apple is reportedly in the final stages of creating new AirPods with built-in cameras. Bloomberg reports the cameras won't record photos or video, but will feed information to Siri. Users can then ask questions about what they're looking at. No word yet on a possible release date or price. Apple is reportedly in the final stage.
Now, what you're going to notice is a lot of our devices are going to get a lot more intrusive and invasive. There has been word that ChatGPT, they're now OpenAI is now pushing to try to get ChatGPT, give you the option of giving ChatGPT your banking information. Something about ChatGPT being able to, give you financial advice and things of that nature. So you got to understand, they're trying to put cameras in the earpods. The real reason, and I'm going to say allegedly, is to read what's going on up here. Because this technology is getting serious. How many of you all been in situations where you thought of something and it showed up on your phone? See, a lot of the AirPods are already synced with the beast system. And while you got them in your ear, better believe this technology is a lot more sophisticated than you can imagine. A lot more. So that's why a lot of people, if you notice, they're getting back to the old school headphones where they putting the cord in and connecting it to the phone. A lot of people are starting to use those again. Telling you.
God warned you about this. The Bible is right yet again. So science just confirmed that your brain cells are influenced by your self-talk. And this has literally been in the Bible for thousands of years, before the experts even knew about this. The Bible says there's power of life and death in your tongue. It also says, as you think, so you are. And the Bible also says that we can be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And that's literally what scientists are now discovering. And God warned you about this because if you're always talking about how tired and depressed you are and talking about all your problems and all these things, that's so dangerous because, listen, God created the world with words. He could have done any other method. He could have snapped the world into existence. He could have thought the world into existence, but he spoke the world into existence. And he created you in his own image. So if God created the world with words, what worlds are you creating with your words?
And now this is important. This is an important message because you got to understand that we got to combat the frequencies that they are using against us. There's a great deal of psychological warfare taking place, and they're doing it through subliminal messaging. They're doing it through, fear cycles and programming. Listen, you have to speak life into existence. You have to speak life on yourself. That Bible says, as you shall speak, so it shall be. Y'all got to understand, we are the neurodivergent beings. Although they're building these huge data centers to actually combat the chosen with their synthetic knowledge, we carry the weight, we carry the vibe, but we have to be able to speak it, stand bold in it. So that's something that we definitely got to understand in these times, right? Now, these data centers are getting crazy.
We have some big news right now. Utah has approved a data center that is twice the size of Manhattan, the size of 2,000 to 3,000 Walmarts, produces the energy of
2,000 to 3,000 Walmarts. What are they planning with this open AI?
Noise pollution. Side effects include hearing loss, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, migraines, digestive problems, complete disruption of the entire living ecosystem, including birds, mammals, insects, butterflies who use sound for food and reproduction, causing them to abandon the area and leaving people with no nature, not even butterflies. Heart attacks, sleeping disorders, diabetes, metabolic disorders, and in rare cases, death. Well, maybe not the last part, but if it's doing all those other things, then yeah, that too.
Now, what does the Bible say in the book of Nahum 2 and 4? The chariots shall rage in the streets. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. Now hear this again. The chariots shall rage in the streets. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. Now, I want y'all to understand how great deal of heat that these data centers let off. All right. This scripture here is really describing a hypersonic, hyperspeed society. It's explaining energy systems. All right. And in this modern society, that Nahum is visualizing, chariots will rage in the streets. They will seem like torches. They run like lightning. Y'all got to understand how it's going to look. Like when you look at movies like Demolition Man, when you look at Player One, when you look at certain movies, you can really begin to comprehend this visualization from Nahum. This stuff is real.
In case you haven't been keeping up with the news, let's not forget that Apple has teamed up with Israel for a new chip to go in their iPhone 17e. Let's not forget this is also the same country that did Operation Grim Beeper in 2024. This is where they had thousands of beepers and hundreds of walkie-talkies that was packed with small amounts of explosives. Let's also not forget that it killed at least 32 to 42 people and wounded up to 4,000. Now let's just be smart. And I tell you for one thing, I am not getting the iPhone 17e. I flat out refuse. You guys can say, oh, the Grim Beeper was just for Hezbollah. This is the same country that looks at us like we're cattle. We are the goy. Let's not forget that. We are lesser than human. So be smart about it.
Yeah, you got to be extra careful with devices that you are using these days, ladies and gentlemen, because it has gotten real. You know, what they're really pushing for is a whole, somebody said it, Skynet. Who said that? Eye to Eye Focus says Skynet. That's what they're trying to do. Put a new grid in place for what? A new world order, a new economic system, and all of the above.
So their entire agenda is to transition an organic world to a synthetic one. They replace the sun's light with artificial light. They replace living food with artificial food. They replace you with artificial intelligence. This is why the planet is going through a split of consciousness. Because the people who are still living with their lower minds, stuck in the 3D, stuck in separation, stuck in fear, these are the ones losing their connection to the Earth's natural field, to the planet. Then you have all the fear. Hanta virus. Hanta in Hebrew literally means fake, scam. This 33-day scam virus they just completely made up. So now human contact is dangerous. Nature is dangerous. Breathing is dangerous. Now the system doesn't even have to force anymore, because fear creates willing obedience. This transition is purely psychological, no force involved. And because everybody is so digitally dependent, you know, the phones, the screens, the internet, these artificial towers become the root of the new synthetic world. Our ancestors understood that a natural field connected everything on the earth, the ether. But this new world is building a synthetic golden age. Everything is wireless, satellite grids, 5G grids replacing ether, smart cities, biometric tracking. An artificial grid is replacing the natural one. Real humans to clones. And again, I'm not here to fearmonger, but this is their plan. So if you aren't focusing on yourself, you're falling into their trap. That's truth. Anyway, stay safe, clean your temple, and that's 13 love.
Yep. And that's why we got to get in touch with nature, man. We got to make sure that we are going on side quests in life. I talked a little bit about that earlier. You know, there's certain things that you got to do in this time, you know, reset your diet, reset everything in life, man. Get connected with the earth, get connected with the alkaline, you know, get some sunlight. Don't stay in the 3D matrix realm too long, because if you do, you'll be a part of it. And that's the whole goal of it, to get you stuck in the matrix. Listen, the Bible says in Isaiah 47:10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, I have perverted thee. You know, these devils who seem to be in control of the world right now, they got pride in their technological power. You know, humanity believing it can control everything. They got a whole lot of overconfidence in their own systems, right? But what do the Bible say? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. You can't put trust in this matrix system. You know, these people have used inorganic portals. They have used fallen angel technology. These people have summoned the Anunnakis. They have done great sacrifice to get this technology. And although it's harming people, they have been put on an assignment by these entities. Telling you. Let me see. Somebody said, Brandon says, why bring children in the world at this point? No more children, people. No. You got to live fruitful and multiply. Because listen, let me explain this to you. The world is never going to end. Now, Bree, what do you mean by that? It's going to end as we know it, but it's not going to end all together. The world will end as we know it. But the world is not going to end. And how do we know that? The Bible tells you the Most High will create a new earth, a new heaven, and a new earth. So the way this works is systems die off. Time spans change. Things end, things come to an end. The Most High had to flood this place. The Most High next time it's going to rain, it's going to use fire to purge it. But guess what? There will still be, the world will still be here. So understanding the scriptures is key. And at the end of the day, yes, somebody said it. No children means that the genocide continues. What's a world without us being here? You mean to tell me these devils who are destroying the world, they deserve to live and just have AI serving a purpose or just have a few slaves? No, it's more of us than them. Yeah, there'll be a new heaven and a new earth.
I don't like how everybody in the world is just ignoring what's going on. Wake up. Look at the signs. It's about to get real. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Get your house in order. Repent. Pray. It's not a game no more. I don't even want to party no more. I don't want to get into drinking and doing none of that. I don't even want to do that no more. Like, my heart completely changed. And you need to start changing your heart too. It's about to get real. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. Word of bro, gangster. You could think people is just bugging or being dramatic. No. It's about to get real. Get your house in order.
Absolutely. You got to get your house in order, but you also got to live your life. I'm not one to tell anybody not to enjoy life. You know, I'm the one who would say travel, you know, within reason, go out, have fun within reason, but also stay away from large areas, large places where it's too many people. But you got to be able to enjoy your life. You got to have balance. Why? Because the Bible says a false balance is an abomination. But you definitely got to get locked in. You definitely got to get focused. You definitely got to make sure your house and your home is in order. You definitely got to do the things that you need to do. All right. Just so that I'm clear. And you gotta make sure that you're giving your life to the Messiah. Right?
They just submitted to digital ID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these motherfuckers are pushing digital ID on these people. Mm-hmm. And once they do digital ID, they're going to attach it to a social credit score. Yep. They're going to attach it to a carbon footprint score. And then they'll be able to control your movement and control you entirely. And most importantly, they've already arrested 12,000 people for social media posts.
That's insane.
Above and beyond every other country. Way above Russia. Russia was like 400 last year. The UK's 12,000. They just submitted to digital ID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these motherfuckers are pushing digital ID on these people.
And that's what the whole goal of the data centers are. The reason why they're going through this massive expansion is simply because they're going to need data centers in place to actually know every single person in the world. I'm talking about have some sort of digital footprint on every single person. Some type of digital footprint. That's what it's about, because how do you cause all, small and great, free and bond, to receive the mark? You have to have the grid in place. You have to be able to have that capacity to be able to house all of that data. That's why you see these people taking out, farmlands and paying people to buy their farms, all to put data centers there. And the Bible tells us In the book of Psalms 62:10, it reads, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. See, right now, there's a lot of corporate consolidation going on. And what that means is everything is downsizing. Everything is disappearing. If you go out nowadays, you will see that the malls barely have any stores anymore. All of the malls close early. If you look at it, banks are shutting down everywhere. There's less everything. Why? Because you can't put your trust in a broken society. They're consolidating to the AI. Why? Once they get people to have that mark of the beast, they're going to just deliver everything. They're going to have drone deliveries. You know, they're going to have, even with Amazon, they're going to have these little things that look like driving porta potties bring you your goods. They got all this stuff stocked up in warehouses, replacing people's jobs, having full automation. But people who got the mark of the beast, they can get what they need, and a drone will drop down their groceries. That's what we're headed to in America, where human interaction ain't even the same anymore. That's the direction things are going. That's why right now it's a lot of resource hoarding going on. If you look at what Trump is doing, you know, trying to take everybody's oil while countries are shutting down, is resource hoarding, because they're getting prepared for this great transition, this new economic and industrial revolution that's taking place with AI. They're all preparing for it. So as you can see in Imperial Valley, residents run data center developers out of the county meeting. I mean, that's not going to stop nothing. When they're ready to put them data centers up, they're going up. But this is a good start. I don't want to discourage the people. You know, these people that I got to respect the fact that they outside and they trying to stop these things from going to their community. Yeah, them people ran them out of there, man. You can't be mad at them for that. And see, honestly, it's going to take every state doing this. It's going to take people showing up to the city council meetings. It's going to take people like really just coming outside and saying, hey, we're not doing this. It's going to take people going door to door voting. It's going to take people really rallying together, because these data centers are a problem. They are a problem. And it's because of the worship of technology. You know, Wisdom of Solomon 13:1 tells us, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God. So you're going to have humanity trying to replace real faith systems with artificial systems. So there's an obsession with artificial intelligence. Some people look at open AI of any sort as God. They look at it as God, believe it or not. There's people who are really under hypnosis and they have fell for the sorcery of artificial intelligence. Y'all remember some of these stories where some people fell in love with an open AI chat girlfriend and chat boyfriend and off they self and went to the upper room. Y'all remember these stories? Look, people are really, when they're able to separate people and destroy communication, people get locked into the AI to the point where they put their trust in the AI more than the Most High. And that's something that you don't want to do. That's a dangerous game to play, because ultimately it's like, it's equivalent to you using a crystal ball. It's equivalent to using a crystal ball. Straight up. The book of Sirach 10:8 tells us, because of unrighteous dealings, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Because of how these people are dealing, this is why the world will transition to our power, to our control, because of unrighteous dealing. So we know all this stuff got to happen. You know, all this economic transition, what the Bible say, the wealth of the right, the wealth of the righteous is stored up by the wicked, right? Or the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Yeah, it's only so long they're gonna get away with this wickedness. These things. Listen, this is a data center all day, every day, 24/7 if you live near it. Could you imagine living near that 24/7? Goodness gracious. It's horrible.
Okay, can we fucking stop with all the data centers being spammed in America and just all over the world? What fucking benefit is there to having data centers? Like, really think about that. They are no different than a cell.
I think he got a song that's copywritten. So I'm gonna have to stop and go a little bit.
Tower. They are being built everywhere across the world. They are such a cancer to this planet. They're building them in California, Texas, Arizona, Illinois, Virginia, Georgia, Utah, China, Germany, Ireland, Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Vancouver, Malaysia, Thailand, and so many other places around the world. What is the goddamn point? It's horrible for people's health. It drains the fuck out of our clean water. It pollutes the air. It pushes people out of their homes and neighborhoods. It's terrible for the environment and for the wildlife and nature.
That's why they're doing it. This is why they are doing it. Somebody said that sound scares me to death. I mean, that is a creepy sound. And you have to live around that 24/7 if they build one near you. That's crazy.
Thousands of people saw my video about the data centers in Ohio. Hundreds of people commented, many Ohioans. Everybody wants to know one thing. What are we going to do about this? I got the answer for you. We've got a petition. We're going to get data centers banned in the state of Ohio. We're going to get this put on the November ballot, banning any data center over 25 megawatts. We need to get you guys to sign this. We need to get this out to the public. You guys need to go to conserveohio.com. You can download the petition. You can be a petitioner. You can go around, get your friend's family signature, witness their signature. Then you're going to sign it and you're going to send it back. We're going to get this sent into the state. We're going to get all of these things banned. We're not going to rely on politicians. We're not going to rely on county commissioners. We're not going to rely on the city councils. We're going to rely on the voice of the people. It's the only thing we can trust. We're going to get this done. Banned.
Yeah, that's the only way to really get rid of those places, man. You have to do the legwork. You got to really get out there and protest and do what need to be done. Seriously, because their goal is to really end everything that is natural. Everything that is natural. Telling you. Y'all, one moment. Yeah, this is crazy.
Breaking news coming out of Utah. They are planning to build one of the largest data centers in the world right in Box Elder County, Utah. It's expected to be around 40,000 acres or 62 square miles long, hyperscale data center. This project was fast-tracked and approved by the Box Elder County Commissions with the support and approval of Governor Spencer Cox, literally bypassing the public input and transparency. It said it's expected to use around 9 gigawatts of power, which would be more than double the usage of the entire state of Utah. If you ask me, I think we need to pull a Missouri. Yeah, I think we need to vote out any leaders who are failing to represent us the proper way. We need to come together because we are stronger together, and they work for us, not the other way around. We need to do something now before we have no say at all. Breaking news coming out of...
Well, we got to understand that Trump already spent 500 million, 500 trillion. What am I talking about? $1 trillion on AI. What was that? What was that bill called that he did when he got in office for the AI? I can't remember what it was called right now. But however, man, they're gonna spend that money. They're gonna spend that money. I mean, you know, that's just the way my mind thinks. You know, like they're going to spend that money. The book of Psalms 20:7 says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of our Lord and our God. See, you're going to have a lot of people that's putting their trust in this AI. No, it wasn't the big, beautiful bill. But you're going to have a lot of people who put their trust in their economic system that they're starting, their new economic system. But we got to keep our trust in the Most High. Now, it wasn't the big, beautiful bill. He spent 500 trillion on AI and he called it something. Yep, he called it something. Let me see. Somebody says, I remember that bill, but forgot the name too. Yep. Somebody says Trump, big, beautiful bill. It might have been part of the big, beautiful bill, but it had its own name. Trump's AI bill. It was called something crazy, but they're putting it to use. They're putting it to use. But on another note, you know, I wanted to draw some awareness towards that. How many of y'all have seen what's going on with this Chud the Builder character? You know, looked like he was crying in court, boo-hooing, weeping. In case y'all don't know who Chud the Builder is, that's the guy who goes around being belligerent, calling Black people out of their names while carrying a gun, trying to antagonize and force some sort of combat. You know, unfortunately, a brother, actually shot somebody, and now he's facing 60 to 80 years. And he's up in the courthouse crying and boo-hooing. I think they shut down his Give, Send, Go. Man, it's crazy out here. Yeah, he's in jail. He's in jail. And they shut down his Give, Send, Go. And, you know, all I can say is he got exactly what he deserved, y'all. He got exactly what he deserved. Let me see. I got a couple updates on that, in case y'all haven't heard of this guy.
He called a black guy the N-word. The black guy punched him in the face. He tried to the black guy. He ended up accidentally himself, and now he's in jail. His name is Chud the Builder. He's a kick streamer. He makes a living going around antagonizing black people, calling them the N-word, calling them monkeys and stuff like that, trying to get them to react so people will donate to him on his stupid stream. I am a free speech absolutist. I believe people should be able to say the foulest things, but I also am a believer in some street justice too, dude. If I saw somebody punch this guy, I wouldn't say shit. Here's an example of what I'm talking about.
We got 18 rounds for you. We ain't got nothing else. Don't follow me in my truck. Like, I mean, you're pandering to the bro. We already know that's what you're doing.
See what I'm talking about? If you want the spicy ending to this story, click the related video down below. He called a black guy the N-word.
Well, the spicy ending is he's sitting up in jail right now with somebody holding his pocket. Chud the Builder. Listen, this is what he get, and I think this should be a very valuable lesson. to everybody who will do anything for social media, clout, clicks, and views. You know, and he has created a wave of white supremacists, content creators who are literally going out there doing the same thing he's doing. He's created a lane for these crash outs. I would call it a domestic terrorist lane. But nonetheless, hey, he got what he deserved. Now here's his appearance in court. Peep this.
This is you're here this morning.
Look, the cop said, "Get over there, boy."
Case number 26 CR. I'm going to set initial bond at 1.25 million.
And see, this is the thing. Like, this is why you got to leave black people alone, bro. This is karma. You know, it's nothing worse than somebody who likes to provoke melanated people and then call the police. You're going to be the one in cuffs. Listen, this is what other nations, these Karens like to do. These Karens like to sit up there and provoke, try to get anger out somebody, to call the police and get them sent up. No, this is a beautiful thing to see. This is a beautiful thing to see because I detest people who do stuff like that. Knowing they're purposely trying to trigger someone to get those people to lose their freedom and their livelihood. That type of sneaky, devilish stuff right there is the reason why he's having the legal troubles and issues he's having. So this is beautiful to see.
Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, we're here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies and his bond status. This is you're here this morning in case.
It's like you said, get over there, boy. Yeah, no, this is what it's going to be for anybody playing these type of games.
This nation talks very loud when racist actions take place. Chud the Builder shoots a man in the stomach after provoking him, and then the nation decides that they're going to raise $144,000 for this guy. Like, this is mind blowing. And y'all check out the list of people, man. Like, there's people giving $3,000, 1776 right there.
Now, from my understanding, this Give Send Go right here that the brother's reading from is actually from an old Give Send Go, which I believe he raised over $140,000. And I think his actual bond is around, somewhere upward towards 125,000. But I believe this one is an old one. Because if you read the Give Send Go over here, it's actually saying that something about him losing a job. So yeah, you know, but it does show you that these white supremacists will rally together. That's why it was such a reward for our people when we rallied together for the high school student by the name of Carmelo Anthony, who posted bail because we, rallied together and got him out because we believed the brother was practicing self-defense. So, ever since that happened and they seen us come together, man, ever since they seen that happen, they've been on a tear. Every time one of these degenerates jump out of pocket and do something wicked. Y'all remember that one lady, what was her name? Shiloh Hendricks, calling the little black baby the N-word. You remember they rallied up money for her. So they're doing a lot of crowd-funded racism.
Others are giving other amounts, 1,500, all this other stuff. Look, these individuals who will give all this money, most of them not even bold enough to put their names out there, but they're so adamant about making sure racism continues. They're so adamant about praising these evil deeds, man. They're talking about, so one of the comments said, self-defense is an attempted murder. They're crazy. They're crazy and they don't even understand the dynamics of this situation. There were many people out there on that courtyard. He was dealing with other unrelated charges, and then he decided he wanted to commit another felony. He wanted to do some other crap that would cause him issues and then disrupt the whole community. Nah, man, like this is the problem with the United States right now. And you guys praise hatred. You praise violence and call it self-defense. You praise hatred, you praise violence and be like, oh, he has this right, he has that right. If other people walked around antagonizing white people and just discharged multiple shots and hit multiple people across an open environment, then what would you say? You say they're terrorists. You say that they're full of hatred, they're evil, they're vile. You'll say all these crazy things, but when one of you people do it, when one of you evil, racist, lunatic individuals do something like this, y'all praise it and then y'all donate to it. Y'all donate to it. Y'all actually buy into it, literally. It's ridiculous. You're evil. Your heart's wicked, and I promise you, you will get what you deserve.
I'm telling you, you will get what you deserve. And Chud the Builder, he's right where he need to be. He's right where he need to be. He's a psychopath. And it should be a terrorist charge because like the brother said, it was other people out there in that courtyard. Anything could have happened because of that thirsty hillbilly wanted some damn clout, some clicks and views. He put everybody's life on the line out there. And see, that's the type of filth that MAGA has produced. Low-level filth like Chud the Builder. Yeah, somebody said using diversity to divide and conquer. Absolutely. There's a lot of Caucasian people that rock with this platform, and they're just as disgusted with these antics coming from these individuals. They're just as disgusted. People don't want to see this great divide. We are stronger when we stick together. Straight up.
Breaking news to tell you about the social media influencer known as Chud the Builder is now facing an attempted murder charge after a shooting today outside the Montgomery County Courthouse. Deputies say Dalton Etherly, better known as social media as Chud the Builder, was involved in a fight leading to gunfire. Both men were hospitalized. Deputies just arrested Etherly, charging him with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Tonight,
he's facing. Wait, hold on. He's facing attempted murder, aggravated assault, and public endangerment. Oh, that's a good 60. That's a good 60 years. Listen, that ain't no joke right there. I didn't know he was charged with all that. I thought it was just the attempted murder. Listen, Chud, and this is personally what I think is going to happen. I think Tampon Chud over here, scratch and sniff mustache Chud is going to, I think they're going to make an example out of him. I really do. I think the law is going to make an example out of Cheddar Bob, y'all. I think Woody from Toy Story is going to get judged appropriately. I really do. I think Buzz Lightyear without the mask is going to get judged exactly how he need to get judged. I really believe that. Now, of course, he's not going to do 60 years, but they probably going to give him a good 10. He probably going to sit in there maximum state. I'm talking about maximum security. Fed time. 10 years. It's open and shut. On his social media, he said the end of all of this is going to be a dead chimp. It's premeditated. Game over. It's game over. Yeah, sit him down. Sit him on down. Sit him down. Yeah, leave Chud right where he belongs. and shut down. Listen, all his followers, everybody who supported him, yeah, go ahead and green light them too. Somebody said it in the chat. Shut down his followers too. Yeah. And he gonna go in there, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics in there, and Chud gonna be looking crazy. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro.
He's being held in the Montgomery County Jail. Breaking news to tell you about the
Montgomery County. Are they talking about Montgomery County, Maryland? If they talking about Montgomery County, Maryland, you in trouble, bro. Hold on, let me see what Montgomery County, what jail Chud in. Let me look this up real quick, y'all. Let me find out what jail Chud is at real quick. It can't be Mo County, not the Mo County I'm thinking. Hold on. Oh, he's in Montgomery County Jail. Oh, in Clarksville. That's Tennessee. Tennessee. Oh man. He in the wrong place, boy. Oh man, them Memphis dudes in there. Boy, Chud is in trouble. Cause you know them Memphis cats, they don't play that. Oh man, he in the wrong place, boy. Them Memphis 10 cats, man. They ain't where he want to be. Yeah, somebody said, I said the same thing. I heard DC, then he said Tennessee. Yeah, I was like, Montgomery County, hold on, what? Yeah, Chud the Builder gonna be building license plates. That's what Max just said. You right. I mean, you know, he did it to himself. We knew this was coming. This is what white supremacy is gonna get you, man. This is what it's gonna get you.
Chud the Builder, the racist, rage-baiting live streamer, is facing 61 years in prison for attempted murder. Now, before Chud started stabbing himself with TRT, he looked like a Bieber fan. And even with this newfound confidence, his insecurities would still shine as he would go out of his way to throw out racial slurs, rage-baiting people for content. But muscles and mustache don't make the man. Chud would seek out people that were either significantly younger, weaker, or smaller than him. And the whole time, he'd be clutching a pistol, provoking them, daring them to do something to him.
Come do something. Pull up.
Oh, he got found.
Yeah. Walk up. That's what I thought. They chipping out.
Where I'm from, we call that a bitch. But Chud apparently got punched in his shit by somebody, pulled out a gun, shot him, accidentally shot himself, and now he's facing attempted murder. Because much like Florida, Tennessee has the stand your ground law, but one of the conditions is you cannot provoke the confrontation. Chud the Builder, the racist,
Hey, listen, that law need to go everywhere. If you decide, like these women out here that want to purposely provoke a man, if you decide that you want to provoke that man, and he has proof that, listen, she was in my face, yada, 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 whoop-de, 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 whoop. And then you felt threatened or whatever the case is, that man should win that straight up. These women shouldn't feel comfortable with trying to provoke a man to anger either. Nope. In every state, this law should be in place. We call the law, don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. That's what the law should be. I'm telling you. Somebody said Chud up in PC. Man, they gonna get him anyway. Chud probably already got beat on a few times already. Chud ain't safe. He's not no celebrity. He ain't gonna just get PC. He gonna go in there crying. He's already been crying and stuff at the courthouse. Yep, keep your hands to yourself and don't be out here provoking people either. Listen, that's the thing. Keep your hands to yourself, right? I can agree, right, that these non-black people using the N-word, right? Calling black people the N-word, that is provocation at its best for most people. For most people. They do it because You don't like it, they can get you out of character. That's exactly what Chud was doing. But it's so well known that it's like, okay, that's provocation. That's just like if I was to walk into a biker bar, a biker bar, and I just walk in there and I just start screaming out Peckerwood, rednecks, you hillbilly, you hills have eyes, y'all smash y'all sisters, and if they was the Molly Wop, drag me, jolly stomp me all across that bar. Guess what? It's on camera what I walked in that bar and did, right? I walked in that bar. I started hurling all kind of insults. They got busy. None of them need to go to jail. I purposely provoked those people. I'm just saying, you just don't go starting stuff with people and believe that the law is going to be on your side. Because that's what Chud did. He believed, look, I'm going to beat it. That's what he said on his social media. Listen, non-black people are so confident that the law is always going to be on their side. Why? Because that's what society have showed them, that the law is going to be on their side. No. If you have a clear pattern of provoking, no, the law is not going to be on your side. No. And they did right. They did right charging them with the max. And it is what it is. Let me see. Somebody says the story is hilarious. Now that he's in jail, you reap what you sow. It really is, man. I got a lot of laughs off of this story because, like, it's a little bit of justice because these people love to weaponize the police against us. They love to weaponize police. They feel good seeing a black man in jail or in the grave, man. They feel good about that. And they would like to let it blow steam and get us out the way. They feel like that's a notch on their belt. They feel like that's a notch on their belt to get us off the map and get away with it. That's the flex for them. Get rid of us and get away with it. Nah, man, he got exactly what he got. He ain't no victim. He's going to be a victim. He's going to be a victim up in Tennessee, up in Clarksville. They're going to do him something dirty. There's already a demo on Chud that he into all kind of weird fetishes and got all these degenerate kinks and all of that kind of stuff. That's already out there on him. So he right where he need to be. Yeah. Somebody said, let me see, stop trying to build your baby cult. Now you need to go tell Chud the Builder that. He was trying to build a cult. Chud the Builder was trying to build a cult of white supremacists. Now he's behind bars with Jangalang Jangalang. Yeah, you should have been over there on Chud the Builder's channel saying, hey, look, stop trying to build your cult. Maybe he would be free. Yeah. Let me see. Somebody says racism exists in all colors. Not exactly. You have to be able to have supremacy to be racist. You have to have the economic power. You have to be able to control who gets housing, who gets jobs. You have to be able to control a grid to be racist. Now, bigots come in all colors. But let's be very clear about this. The only racist are white supremacists. And what makes them racist because they actually have the power and to do the things they're doing. You know, they get funded more yearly. You know, they're actually the top of the food chain. So that would give them the power to be racist. Nobody else can be racist. They can be bigoted. They can discriminate. They can be discriminative. They can be bigoted. But no, racists don't come in all colors. They come in one color. Respectfully. And shout out to the people who are Caucasian and they tired of the foolishness too. A lot of them are tired of this racial divide and tension. Because why? The Bible says a land divided can't stand.
There's no more milk to suck dry. Netanyahu just told you last night on national television, Israel is ending the self-reliance of U.S. foreign aid. Israel takes in billions of dollars every single year. Why would they want to end that? This reminds me of a quote back in 1990 by Netanyahu. He said, America is the golden calf. We will chop it up. We will suck it dry. We will sell it off to every part of the world until it is the largest welfare state that we control and own. Guys, there's no more milk for them to suck dry.
Yep, that's what's happening in America right now. That's why they're causing all this racial divide, all this economic pressure, all this inflation, all this, psychological warfare, because there's no more for the merchants of the earth to extract from America. They're doing this stuff on purpose. People like Chud the Builder are a cog in a web that is here to sow more discord and tension. Straight up. And y'all know what their ultimate goal is.
Apparently, if you do not have digital ID by 2028, that is 2 years from now, you will be isolated from society. Yes, isolated from society. There's a guy by the name of, I believe, Billy Gates, who said that, allegedly he said that. If you do not receive the digital ID, you will be isolated from society by 2028. Now that leaves me thinking that there's something, right, that was talked about, that was foretold 2,000 years ago, that there will be a time period where a mark would come and you would have to get it. You have to get it either on your head or on your right hand. Then with this mark, you will not be able to buy, sell, trade, or anything like that. It doesn't matter whether you're poor, rich, great, small, free, bond, slave, whatever. Definition of all of that is you are an outcast from society. You are not allowed to participate in society, and the word isolation comes up. You think about that description, it definitely describes isolation. And now they're saying if you don't have this digital thing, this implantation, if you will, inside of your body, your hand or your forehead, remember, they are pushing this greatly, you will be isolated from society. And honestly, guys, that just spells out the sign of the times. That just means that we are closer and closer to the return of the Lord Jesus Christ. And to be honest, as sad as being isolated from society should be, honestly, I might be more down with that. Because honestly, who wants to participate in this godless, repulsive, degenerate, manic society? No one wants to participate in this, bro. Apparently, if you do not have digital ID by...
this digital ID thing is getting very much expansive, by 2028. They want this thing to be in full swing. And this is the reason why they're putting all these data centers out here. I do like the fact that in certain states, people are pushing back. People don't want it. However, look, they spent that 500 trillion for a reason. And this stuff has already been written. Unfortunately, if I'm looking at this from a prophetic lens, these data centers are going to go up, and there's going to be more people relocating. There's going to be more people being forced out of their homes. There's going to be water shortages, food shortages. All these things are going to take place. This is, if you look at the Book of Eli, the movie, the Book of Eli, it's going to kind of look like that, man. Like some of these places going to be like desert landfills, bro. Why? Because of these damn data centers extracting all the resources from the environment. So, make no mistake about it, brothers and sisters. It is what it is. It is what it is. And all we could do to prepare for it is make sure we get centered and, deal with people that you can trust. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. So a lot of people these days, man, you just can't deal with them. You can't deal with them. You got to look around and embrace the people who are like-minded, who are ready to prepare for what's coming, just like you are. Yep, somebody said it. It's going to be like deserts. And 10 years from now, a lot of these places are going to look crazy, man. They really are. Somebody says everyone goes in their box and shuts the lights off. I don't know what you mean by that. Lurk Squad. Somebody says, hey, Nubreed, just a suggestion. Before you close your podcast, won't you end with a prayer? I'm not really big on public prayer like that. You know, we've done it a few times. What we do is we'll kind of come into an agreement on things. And, you know, when the Bible tells us when two are gathered in my name, know that he's in the midst. So, you know, us congregating, going over scriptures, you know, he's in the midst. The Holy Spirit is present when we're doing these. But however, I know that this particular topic right here, we went all over the place. But how about this? Instead of a public prayer over the internet, how about let's all come into agreement that we're going to be okay, that we're going to be protected, that the Most High is going to give us the wisdom and discernment to maneuver in these last days, and that he's going to remove anybody out of our lives who don't belong there and bring people in our lives that do belong there. Can we all agree on that? And if you agree, all you got to do is say agreed. Agree. And, you know, the Most High understands that, you know. Somebody said we building and cooking tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This nation talks.
Okay, we watched that one. Oh, Chud the Builder. Got what he deserved, y'all. Got what he deserved. And I want to shout out a lot of y'all who've been sending me a lot of various sources and things of that nature. I see everybody in agreement. See, that's all we got to do. Now, brothers and sisters, there's power in agreement. If we agree, you know, there's power in it. And, you know, all of these people watching, we are people right here. We don't have chat bots over here. We don't purchase subscribers. We don't buy fake views. We don't have bots. We don't have none of that. These are real souls, over 1,000 souls in here. And if everybody say agree, oh man, we move in. If we all agree that we on the righteous path, that we're getting our discernment together. Listen, there's power in that. Over 1,000 people agreeing at one time. Yeah. But guess what? We can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. We can't be ignorant of his devices.
Take my advice. Do not buy a new car in 2027. I keep telling y'all, AI is taking over everything. And the car that you purchase isn't even your car anymore. It's the government's car. In 2027, every new car that's made is required to have mandatory federal surveillance technology. You heard what I just said? Everything that you do in your car will be tracked. This law gives them the power to listen to everything that's going on in your car. This law gives them the power to watch everything that's going on in your car. If you are driving too fast, AI will alert the police and let them know. If you are conversating on a handheld device, AI will detect this and alert the authority. Mind you, if the AI system in your vehicle thinks that you're a danger by the slightest bit, your vehicle will automatically turn off. The law basically states that this technology needs to constantly monitor every single thing that you're doing. This is through AI cameras. This is through sensor. So basically, you don't even have the power to do anything in your car anymore. AI has the power. For the people who indulge in criminal activities, best believe this. It's either one, your car is shut down, or two, your car might just drive your ass straight to the police station.
That's real talk, bro. Yeah, I mean, for real. In some states, they're talking about banning old cars. So y'all wonder why they got all these damn data centers going on everywhere. They need a hub. They need places where they can put all of this in place. They need a grid to expel that much energy and power to be able to watch you everywhere. I'm telling you.
You already know they're trying to put it off as they're trying to monitor drunk drivers. But that's not just it. They're calling it advanced impaired driving prevention technology. I need you to understand that they had this plan for a very long time. They're just executing now because you guys are so comfortable with AI. Pay attention. Take my advice.
I'm telling you, man. And these a lot of these vehicles are being stalled on the side of the road. It's crazy. A lot of these vehicles are turning off. You really can't make it up. Hold on, it was one more video about this AI I wanted to share with y'all, but I think I might have shared it already.
All right, I'm going to save you literal hours of dead-end research if you got the jab and now feel completely out of your mind. So those who took the jab have essentially now turned into human remote controls. That shot has straight up turned human physiology into a programmable network. In layman's terms, I'm saying that they...
Now, I'm going to say all of this is allegedly. I'm just reacting to what she's talking about. And I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if it's true, but we cannot confirm whether what she's saying is true. But there is some bizarre phenomena going on with people who end up getting that, right? Some of you all may have witnessed some of these things.
They have the capability to remotely control what goes on in your body. And all they need is that signal that you thought was for your cell phone. Turns out it's not. So yeah, your cells are now a smart grid. They basically have control over your mind. And I'm sorry, I'm just saying this how it is. I don't really care how it comes out because this is the truth. Here it is. And to no surprise, the applicant on this patent is the Rockefeller University. But yeah, now all these nanoparticles in your body, they can excite, right? They can wake up, they can manipulate. So again, you're not going crazy, but you are. You shouldn't have done that thing. You shouldn't have done that thing. All right, I'm going to save you literal hours of dead.
Now, listen, that would explain a lot. That would explain a lot. I mean, what if through these nano particles, this nanotechnology they got, they literally inseminated people to create the perfect storm for when they roll out data centers? What if they can actually control things that people do? Now follow me here, y'all. I'm not trying to go real sci-fi with it. Sometimes I will go there. You know what I'm saying? However, I want you to hear me out on this. What if some of these people who are committing heinous crimes, some of these people who are crashing out, mass pow-pows, what if the nanoparticles are being controlled by a master grid and they can actually send frequencies through people's bodies to get them to involuntarily act against their will? Now, I ask that because y'all remember the young man who crashed out and knifed up the young lady on that train. How many of y'all remember that by show of ones? I don't know if y'all got the news, but as of late, he got found incapable of facing trial. That's right. So clearly something was done to that man to make him wild out like that. Something was done that they can that is documented. They say, oh, he had to go through some form of technological torture to, y'all remember that case, right? It looked like they may be creating sleeper cells in America. And this whole time we worried about Iranian sleeper cells. What if the sleeper cells are actually already here and they're American citizens? Now I say that because, man, you got to think about it. You got all of these laws being passed about denaturalization of American citizens. You got the Department of War saying that they have internal enemies too. I'm just saying. What if the government's internal enemies are ones who can't be controlled? I'm not trying to go sci-fi with it, but just follow me here. What if people who cannot be controlled, people who can think for themselves, people who have freedom of thought, what if that's who the government have a real issue with? The neurodivergent beings. You know? Yeah, somebody said Manchurian candidates are real. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we just coming up with hypothetical situations. I'm not saying that this is all true to this, but I think sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. I think the truth can be stranger than fiction. You know, just like Walt Disney World, how that situation with that cruise ship just got swept under the rug, right? I want y'all to think about how that just disappeared like that.
Out here, there's nowhere to run. No roads, no exits. Just thousands of people floating in the dark while the cameras keep watching. Passengers watched crew members get dragged off Disney cruise ships in cuffs during a massive child exploitation investigation. Funny how the happiest vacations always have locked doors nobody talks about. One employee vanished from a Disney cruise ship and was never seen again. No answers, no body, just security footage and silence. Most passengers never see the lower decks. The hallways, the rooms without windows, the places you're not supposed to wander into alone. Every hallway monitored, every deck recorded, every movement tracked. Funny how people still disappear in places where somebody is always watching. They build entire decks designed to keep the kids distracted for hours. Fun games, smiling faces. Meanwhile, the cameras never blink, and the ocean outside never stops swallowing the sound. A floating fantasy. Thousands trapped together in the middle of nowhere while cameras watch your every move. Some people leave with memories. Others just disappear into another story nobody talks about. You don't care though, right?
You're already infected.
I mean, that's real talk. Nobody cares though. This Disney cruise ship gets pulled over because they exploiting children in the worst ways possible. A possible trafficking ring going on Disney cruise ships, and that thing just disappear. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. And it's like they threw the hantavirus in there just for a distraction, bro. At this point, I think the hantavirus thing is just a distraction. That's all it was. And they were distracting us from this. This what the world should have been talking about for months at least. For months. But instead, they had us talking about a virus called Hanta, which means nonsense and falsehood in Hebrew. They had us talking about it. And then they saying now that now they're saying an Ebola outbreak has happened. That happens every decade or so. I think out there in Africa, some Ebola breakout took place. Somebody said Disney has a thing called Club 33 that you need to be a member of. What is that what you said? You need not be a member of? Yeah, Disney is a Freemasonic organization. Walt Disney was a Mason, a Satanist, a Luciferian, a sorcerer. Yeah, I know all about Walt Disney. Yeah, they always hitting us with distractions, man. Somebody says they're attacking the new generation. Yup. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. This stuff right here should have been should have been news for a long time. But they had us talking about this right here.
They're coming for us, bro. It's either Hunter or Ebola, I think, and I think very soon. I think no later than September, October, right before the election, the latest. What's scary about this, 40 days before it incubates, they can just come knock on your door, social tracing, right? Social contact tracing. You got to come to this.
They always kill two birds with one stone. The hantavirus scare, right, is also designed to get social tracing back in place, or what they call contact tracing. And now imagine this: there's a virus outbreak here. They say some guy, new person died in America who got Hanta, by the way. So now they're leaving us in the dark. Why? Because they're going to make this boogeyman disease to give reason to be tracing people. They're putting up these data centers for a reason, so they can surveil different places. And they're using contact tracing to say who has it and who doesn't.
Bro, I'm not going nowhere. They're coming for us, bro. It's either Hunter or Ebola, I think, and I think very soon. I think no later than September, October, right before the election.
Yeah, they always come up with a disease before the election, yo. If you pay attention to their patterns, it always happens.
Well, breaking fuck the news. Donald Trump just posted this at True Social 3 hours ago. For Iran, the clock is ticking and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence. President Donald J. Trump. We will mark this as the 6th time he is threatening to wipe out an entire civilization of people. I want you guys to really understand how insane that is. That is like if Teddy Roosevelt went on the radio every day in the early 1900s and said, I'm gonna blow up I'm gonna blow up Japan. I'm gonna do it. That's like if he went on that motherfucker every day for 2 weeks straight and told the American people, I'm gonna blow Iran up with something. You guys just don't know what it is yet. That is kind of insane, and I want you to really just sit on it and just let that resonate.
How many times is it? 6?
5, I don't know, 17. This motherfucker says it when he's bored. He says it when he's not bored. He says it when he's talking to his children.
He dreams it every single night.
Motherfucker will go to a kid that has cancer and then go, and by the way, I want to blow up Iran. Wipe them all out. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Well, breaking fuck the news. Donald Trump just posted.
Man, that war is fake, bro. I don't mean fake in a sense like there hasn't been real casualties or there's not real consequences, but I mean fake as it's been set up and staged to happen in order to reset the global economy. It's like watching WWE, man. Like, I don't got no love for Iran or America, bro. If I'm speaking direct with y'all, you know, I ain't got no love for either side. Ain't none of them being the solution. So I can care less. I mean, I don't like the innocent blood that's been shed in any war. War is never good, bro. However, they planned all of this, and it's all about resetting the economy. It's all about putting the American citizens and the global population in austerity measures. That's what it's about. New world order is what it's about. And they all work together, man. They all work together.
So we've gone tonight from the president posting images of him clicking a red button and setting off a nuclear weapon in space to now him posting this image. It is real, of him walking an alien who is tied up along with Secret Service and Army personnel on an Army base in what looks like Area 51. I post this not because it's news, but because imagine the reaction if it was Joe Biden standing here next to an alien, this fake image that he posted. Imagine if it was Obama, Bush, Clinton, you name it. Imagine if any other public official posted this. What would the reaction be? Spread the word, follow for more. So we've gone tonight from the president posting images of him clicking a red button and
Yo, Trump is a troll, man. Trump is a troll. Yeah, listen, every time the heat is on him about those Epstein files, his approval rate, what he's going to do with gas and groceries, Every time the heat get turned on him, he do some old out of pocket, outlandish stuff, right? Now we already know that these people are the aliens, bro. They are the aliens. I mean, we have been sitting here waiting for some files to be released about some little green men, not understanding that a lot of your world leaders are the little green men. Listen, a lot of your news correspondents, a lot of your politicians, a lot of your actresses and actors are reptiles, bro. They are reptilian shapeshifters. They are half-breed. They have been spliced with the serpent seed, genetically altered. Some of these people wear masks. Some of these people have body doubles. Some of these people have gills. Some of these people can't stop themselves from morphing. Some of them got to stay indoors in the day. Like they want us to be worried about little green men, and they are the little green men. They are, listen, they are the seed of Nephilim. You know, when the Bible talks about they will be renowned men and giants on the earth, it's talking about these people. I mean, you know, yes, are there other entities out there? Not in space. A lot of these entities are underwater. Yes, facts. When you really delve into this Bible, yo, a lot of these entities are in the earth. They're not in outer space. There's a firmament. There's a firmament covering the outer layer of the earth. There's nothing going out of space. Nothing. It's going to hit that firmament and it's going to fall. That firmament is thicker than a million tons of ice. You're not going through it. So where are these entities coming from? They already walking around, bro. Look, the Men in Black show is, I mean, the Men in Black movie is about real as it go, bro. Like, some of these aliens work in pawn shops, bro. They work at somewhere weird like Cracker Barrel or somewhere. Respectfully, if you work at Cracker Barrel, you know what I'm saying. For some reason, it'd be some weird people working in there. Respectfully, of course. But they be working, they be among us every day. They be walking down the street. They be having weird smells. Like, you'll be surprised how many people you came in contact with that was a quote unquote alien. They got us looking for these entities, and they everywhere. They everywhere. Everybody who walking around on 2 feet ain't humans. Somebody says, yeah, it's just like they live. Facts. Yeah, these things, this stuff that come out of that water, a lot of the UFOs actually come out of the water. There's underground water cities, full cities underwater. There's amphibian beings that walk on 2 legs. Believe it or not, mermaids are real. All that stuff is real, bro. Mermans, mermaids, all that stuff is real, man. We be thinking like everything is fictional. No, they get everything they show you in the movies. It's real. It's real. And now, you know, Trump is trying to tease the whole world with, we're going to release some exclusive alien files. Like, that's a distraction, bro. Y'all need to release some more money to the people. That's what y'all need to release. Y'all need to release some more stimulus checks to get the economy back up. Y'all need to release these high-ass gas prices and stop trying to distract people with nonsense. Y'all need to release some extra funds for all the veterans that put in work. Yeah. We're gonna release some alien file. Man, we're gonna go watch Men in Black, watch an alien movie, and we'll get the gist of it. Somebody said they don't know about mermaids. Oh, they exist. They just don't look like Ariel from Little Mermaid. They don't look like that. They look horrifying. You want to be real. Like, they don't look like Ariel from Little Mermaid, but they can make beautiful noises. till you get up close to one. There's been, man, y'all gotta understand, there's been a lot of footage that's been scrubbed off the internet. Whole lot of footage that's been scrubbed off the internet. Yeah, these mermaids, they can sing, they can lure people in with beautiful sounds. You get close up on it, something gonna come out that water that you ain't expect to come out that water. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of things under the sea. A lot of things under that water, boy. The Bible talk about under the water. It's some stuff you ain't never seen. They are finding all kind of rare aquatic species right now as we speak. They finding different kind of parasites that they ain't know existed. They're transporting sharks that swim way below sea level, like way below, that are humongous. I'm talking about these things weigh several tons. They just hide all that stuff. You know, that's why a lot of times, you know, a lot of usins, man, we be avoiding that water a lot of the times. Like, you know, we ain't trying to go deep diving in the ocean and all that a lot of the times. Yep, that's right. Ephesians 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness, principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's right. That is right. It's a spiritual warfare, some rare things out here in this world. And sometimes these entities, they take different forms and all of that, like skin walkers, all of that, man. This stuff is spiritual. Yep, telling you. Yeah, you got Trump out here keep threatening to blow Iran off the map. Man, these people ain't about to do nothing. These people ain't about to do nothing but keep on talking. If they gonna do it, it's like, go ahead and do it. I'm tired of these people talking. They trying to tell us they're gonna give us some top secret information when, look, we open the Bible. We got all the information we need. We got everything we need. Anyway, brothers and sisters, y'all know how we do. It's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all. Man, one love to everybody joining. One love to everybody who supported the broadcast. Look, man, I'm about to go ahead and chill out. It's always an honor and blessing building with y'all. Y'all make sure that y'all share this material. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you catch this on the playback, make sure that you comment in the comment section, even after the broadcast airs, because that helps push the views. That helps push and spread the word. One love to y'all. Y'all stay safe out there. If you want to support the work, support it at newbreedglobaltruth.com, or feel free to support it via Cashapp at Nubreed Global Truth, as well as HebrewCare.com, where you can get all your natural products. One love to y'all. Be blessed out there. Till next time. Shalom. Peace.